everyone, it's Rambling Hour with Lisa, season 12, episode 3, coming to you live from the garden. I am not just in the garden, but I am at the pond slash plunge pool slash, well, it's not a fish pond yet, but I am sitting here. You can see the black liner there. There's actually these big, huge, like, stone things that go around this. And so where the water line is now is where I will actually tuck the liner under, and those big stones will be, you'll see those, but I have to move that wooden dock back there is actually like old fence panels just lying down to make it look like a dock. So I have to take all that stuff out. Like if I scroll up a little bit, you'll see like the double bench thing over there, or the seating, like all the stuff over there I have to take out of there, take the fence panels out, and then we're going to actually build a dock properly there. On either side of the dock is bog area, but actually on this one here, like I've dug it out to be a bog, but I never punched holes in the liner, so it's actually filled with water, and there is actually 2 goldfish in there. I had 3, but 1 died, so that has fish in it right now. It's supposed to be boggy, so the look is I wanted it to look like, if I have plants growing right here on either side of the dock, I wanted it to look like that part of the pond as well, and the dock will just jet out from it. So the boggy parts will look like part of the big pond, and that is actually, it will be like a bog filter, so it'll be a natural pond eventually when I make them into a bog filter. And then if you look over here, I don't know if you can see it. No, you can't see it, but there's like a waterfall behind that black bamboo. There's like a waterfall that goes into it as well. Anyways, I thought for one of my last rambling hours from the garden, because as you can see, it's already getting dark out at, actually, let's see if you can see the sky. If it looks nice. Well, it looks a bit lighter in the sky, but it's actually not. Now at like 8 o'clock my time, it just starts getting dusky out. So it's about when I start putting things away and going in if I was to be gardening out here. However, my light, my big ring light that my awesome husband bought me is so powerful that I needed it the other day when I put because I was working against the water table for the pond, I had to make sure that I was absolutely ready to go. So the water table was all sand as well, whereas the rest of it was dirt that I was digging into, hard dirt. But when I got to a certain depth, it was soft sand with little rocks in it and stuff, and then in the water table. So as I dug, the water would just come in and it would bring more sand in, so my walls were collapsing. So I had to make sure that once the liner was here, I used a sump pump, took all of the water out that was in there, quickly dug out as much as I wanted, had to reinforce the walls, like make a, what's it called, my brain's retaining wall all around, and then make sure that was smooth so that it didn't poke into my liner. Then I had to put the underlay, then the liner, and then I had to add water so that the water in that part would be strong enough to hold the water table out. And I had to do that all quickly, and my mistake was starting too late in the day. So by the time I was putting water in, I got Steve to help me lay the liner out because it was so huge. But by the time I started putting water in, it was already getting dark like this. So I ended up having to work out here in darkness. And I'm going to turn up my light to show you how much it lights up everything behind me if I move. So as you can see, I used this light as a spotlight for me to be able to work. So that was really cool because I don't have a spotlight, a yard light, but how cool that it came in that handy that I could use it outside for that. So technically, even though this might be one of my last lives from the garden because it's getting dark, technically with a light this powerful, I could do my lives from the garden all winter if I wanted to, but who knows. So Mom says, hi Lisa. Hi Mom. Anyways, I just thought I would let you guys see. If you watch the video of me jumping off the dock into the water, then you will have seen that the water looks dirty right now. There's a few reasons for that. One, I cleaned the wildlife pond in the front. I took all the plants out of it and like pulled them apart and everything else and cut off the roots and put back in there what I wanted. But anything that was overgrown or there's too much of, I didn't put back in the wildlife pond, and I just threw it in here. Besides the, I don't know if you can see behind me, where is it? It's down here, but oh, maybe you can see, if you can see right here, there's a water lily, and that I do want in this pond. But the rest of the stuff, the grasses and everything, even though they look nice right now, I don't know if they're going to stay in here or not. I don't know if they'll like the shady area under the tree or not, but I thought I'd throw them in here because they were extras that I don't want in the wildlife pond, and just to put some life into here and see what it looks like. So the water's dirty because I just put the plants in yesterday, so everything has to settle, and I don't have a filter on this yet. So like I said, the bogs will be a natural filter eventually, but until I get those done, I'll have to, I've made a filter over there that I use for the fish pond, but I'll have to make one for this one too, and it'll filter the water and keep it clean. And yes, so I am really, really happy with the pond. It turned out exactly how I wanted it. The water is about up to here at the deepest point, and I will eventually do like a collage, like a slideshow kind of me making the pond, and you guys can see the process and what it looked like without water in it. So I'm really, really happy about it, very excited about it. And yesterday swimming in it too, it was a bit cold, like, you know, when you first go in, but if you have ever been in water where it's so cold that your feet like hurt, it's not that cold, and it's refreshing, so it's awesome. And this was a day, like, we have not had the best weather here for a summer. It's been chilly and wet for most of our summer. But yesterday it got up to 22, and again today it was hot too, but I wasn't really home today. But so yesterday it was warm, but not warm enough to warm this water up, or because like I said, there's a tree over here, so it's not in direct sun at all really. It gets dappled sun, so it wouldn't warm up the water. But even yesterday I was in it, and it was nice enough that I could, you know, keep being in it and jump in 3 times, and I really enjoyed it. So it was definitely refreshing and inviting. So I just look forward to it on those hot days, like had I been home this afternoon, or, you know, this week it's supposed to be in the 20s all week. So finally in September, we're getting a little bit of summer. But yeah, I just look forward to many days on here, and even having like a floating, they call them, I think, lilos here, lilos, but like a floating air mattress bed thing, you know, just to lie and relax. And I'm just, yeah, I'm really excited about it. Now that we have this in here, I don't really need the pool in the front garden either, so it gives us more space there, which the boys will just want it for parking their cars, but, you know, I just think it's more for plants. So we'll have to have a compromise and share the space. Anyways, how are you guys? What's new with you? What have you been doing this last week? Why was I not home today? Well, that's because, you know, like most parents, we like to leave things till the last minute, and we needed, Erica, our youngest, is 15, and she's going into her last year of school, which is year 11 here. So it's the last kid we have to do this with, but part of their uniform is black shoes, specific black shoes. And so we had to go and get her some school shoes. Plus she needed some more trainers, running shoes if you're American, for PE class. So we went shoe shopping today. And we also went for a nice Morrison's breakfast. Morrison's is a grocery store here, and you can get a full English breakfast. It's almost always yummy. Like any Morrison's you go to, any location, if they have the cafe, their breakfasts are so yummy. And I think it's an all-day breakfast, so I think you can get it at any time. But an English breakfast consists of sausage, bacon, like a full English. Sausage, bacon, eggs, toast. You can get fried toast, which is really nice. It's like literally bread fried. Like the whole bread is fried in oil or whatever, so it's like really crispy and unhealthy but yummy. You can get sliced, like they have grilled tomatoes, mushrooms, and if you like black pudding, they have black pudding, which I do like. And am I missing it? Oh, and beans, and like canned beans. Am I missing anything on the plate? Well, this one, they have an ultimate, and you can get hash browns on it, but that's not really British. That's more of an American thing added on to it. So, but I like hash browns as well. And am I missing anything? I don't think so. I think that's everything that comes with an English breakfast. But you'd be surprised at how yummy beans are with eggs and bacon and sausage. And so I'm not really a sausage fan unless they're really good sausages. But yeah, beans, it actually, another thing that they eat here commonly is beans on toast, which sounds like, so you might have heard like the queen eating her beans on toast. But if you just open a can of beans, even if it's wieners and beans, as we call them, if they have little pieces of sausage in them or whatever, and you make some toast and just put, like, some people will put the whole toast full of beans. I don't like soggy toast, so I take some beans and put it on a corner of my toast and then take a bite. And beans on toast is actually really good. And sometimes when we are lazy and we don't really mind having something quick or easy, I'll make either beans on toast for Steve and I, or the other one that's quick and easy is if you microwave potatoes, like bigger potatoes or whatever size. I like smaller potatoes, but you know, big potato for a baked potato, or what they call them, jacket potatoes here. If you do them in the microwave, quick and easy, 10-20 minutes, depends. Like I put it on for 10. I put the potatoes in a bowl. Well, I wash them, so then they have a bit of moisture on them anyways, because you just wash them. And I put them in a bowl. You can poke them if you want. And then I put them in the microwave. I put it on for 10 minutes. That's the highest I think it's the highest it'll go. I don't even know. But I just put it on for 10 minutes. And then I come back and I toss them in the bowl just to move them around. And I put them in for another 10 minutes, or you can put them in for 5, depending on the size or how many you put in. And then I go back and poke them with a fork to see if they're soft all the way through. And once they're soft all the way through, it's a baked potato, a jacket potato, and it's yummy. Cut that open, take your beans, put them in a bowl, warm them up in the microwave, put the beans on the jacket potato. That's how Steve eats his. I like cheese melted on mine, and then I like some Frank's Red Hot sauce. But it's a quick and easy dinner. And so it's funny because we had it a couple days ago, and actually there's baked potatoes in the fridge. So not yesterday, but the night before. That's what I made for supper. Last night I made sausages and chips. And so tonight Steve is having sausage butties, which is like, butty is another word for a sandwich. But so toasted bread, and I sliced up some sausages and put it in there, and they have brown sauce on it, which is like, it's called daddy sauce. It's a brown sauce. It's like a prune sauce kind of. Anyways, so he's having the leftover sausages. I am going to have beans on potato again for dinner tonight, and I just really wanted it the other day, so I made it. And yeah, it's not only quick and easy, sometimes you crave it. A leaf just fell from the tree above me. That's something else I need to do, is get a very fine net or even one of my tarpaulins and put it over this, you know, because I built a pond underneath. I mean, it was already here before when Steve bought the place, but then he filled it in, but it's a pond underneath a tree. And this tree, not only will it lose all its leaves in the autumn, it also in the spring it's called a goat willow. So it gets like it gets the pussy willows, but then they turn into the big catkins and they all fall. And they're easy enough to pick up because they're like Velcro. They just stick to each other, but they just go everywhere. So that's 2 times that I'm going to have to put something over the pond to cover it so that it's easier to clean up than me. Or actually, I thought about this too. If I put something, you won't be able to see the pond, but if I put something from the fence back there on an angle down towards here, then I could see the pond from in that way, like a tent, kind of like a lean-to, and then all the litter that falls from the tree will go like onto it or slide down to this patio area, and I could clean it up easier, but I don't know. We'll see what happens. I wish you guys were here so you could try out my pool pond, plunge pool, and also to see my garden. What else were we talking about? I need to do my roots. That's something I need to do, but I haven't done. We were talking about food. So as you guys know from last week when we were in the kitchen, I got my recipes organized. I'm looking forward to doing more things in the kitchen. Also doing some reading lives and you know, lots of good things in store, and having more guests as well as me just rambling on my own today, because so after I jumped in the pool yesterday, the plunge pool and everything, and did some videos of that to show what it was like, I went and had a shower, and that's what, and then like I've told you guys before, lots of times after I have a shower, I plait my hair, which is like a braid. So that's why it's very loose right now, is because this was from last night before I went to bed. And it's just a quick and easy way to keep my hair out of the way and it not be just a big poof ball because it's got no product in it and whatever. There's a point. Oh, and I just had this one like kind of swinging along the side like this. So today when I went out, I thought today would be a perfect day to wear because I wanted it to be a bit summery because I knew it would be hot. So I think I've wore this shirt on here before. I wore it to the Vatican as well. So if pictures of me at the Vatican, I have this shirt on. It says "Be kind" on here and it has a heart. And I'll talk about this necklace in a minute. And then on the back, just make sure I can't remember exactly what it says, but hopefully you could read that. And if not, I'll take a picture of it after. But, and this necklace, so I won't take it off, I'll just come close. This necklace used to have three things on it, and I gave all my beads away to my sister-in-law, so I'm not sure if my old beads had these in it, but it used to have 3. Dang it, I can't get it in focus. Where would it be in focus? Anyways, it is from my Grandma McDermott. She went to Hawaii in the 80s, about 88, 89, I can't remember exactly what year, and for my cousin Maureen's wedding. My cousin Maureen married Calvin in Hawaii on the beach. She was wearing a bikini. She looked gorgeous with like a thing over it. It was very gorgeous. And my grandma and my grandma's sister, Auntie Yvonne, went to Hawaii as a part of the guests for the wedding. And she brought us back gifts and the girls got necklaces. And I didn't think about it until today. I grabbed it because I like the color of it with the... And it's not your traditional necklace that you would wear with, you know, with this type of outfit because I'm just wearing jeans. However, there's 2 things. Why not have a little bit of elegance, even if you're casual? Did I say 2 things? There's actually 3. So have some elegance with your casual. Also, I want to try different necklaces, as you guys know. So that's another reason to wear it. And third, I had a dream about my cousin Maureen's husband, Calvin, and their kids, their 3 daughters and spouses, and now granddaughter, because the youngest of their kids, Erica, has had a baby who's the same age as our grandson Jackson, so about 5 months old. Anyways, I was thinking about their family because, as you may or may not remember, my cousin Maureen, who was only in her 50s, late 50s, she passed away from cancer a few months ago. So I had a dream about them last night. And then today, when I was pulled towards this necklace to wear it, I remembered, oh, that's from Grandma McDermott from Maureen and Calvin's wedding. So it is reminding me of but also, not only is it about Maureen and Calvin's wedding and Hawaii and my grandma, but my grandma died when I was 13. And lots of times we think, I couldn't remember any, not that she didn't buy us things for Christmas or our birthday, but I couldn't really remember anything specific that I got from her when I was a kid or when she passed away. I did get a couple things that I love. I got these big, they're like on wood, they're carved cherubs, and there's 2 of them, and my Auntie Joan painted them for a play at school or something. And in my grandma's house, they were always behind this one bed in this room that me and my sister Melody would sleep in. And I always loved them. I loved them so much. So when I always wanted them, if and when my grandma died, and I did get them when my grandma died. I got those. I got a leather jacket a leather vest, like a yellow leather vest with tassel-y things on the bottom, which I never wear. So maybe I'll wear. Actually, I was thinking about wearing my cowboy hat. So maybe I'll wear it with my cowboy hat for one of my lives. And then I got like a velvet jacket. The velvet jacket kind of has gotten damaged, a black velvet jacket. I love that too. But it's so funny. So one time when I think it might be Jackie, Steve's Jackie, when she gave us clothes to send to the warehouse, I went through it, and the only 2 things I took were another leather thing similar to that and another velvet jacket, which I think it might be blue, like dark blue, and it's in my room right now. So maybe I'll bring all 4 of those things on for one of my lives and show you guys. However, those are the things I got. And I got these little animal candles that I don't have anymore, but they were shaped as animals. They were very tacky. But I got those from my Grandma McDermott after she died. That's what I got. But it hit me that before I was even 13, because that's when she passed, she got me this. She chose this one for me because my sisters were different colors. She chose this for me. Of course, she knew me. She knew me for 13 years. She still knows me after she's passed. And she knew me better than I knew her because I was still a kid, right? So the other thing is, she is one of the people who I believe helped me from the other side with my gardening, because she did love her gardening, and she's really good cook and baker too. So yeah, where my other grandma, my grandma Malone, my mom's mom, is one of my spirit guides and is with me lots with my spiritual life. My grandma McDermott, my dad's mom, is there for my gardening life. And so that is the story with this necklace, which is something else I want to do, which I've told you guys about, is going through my house. And because I have a lot of tat, what they call tat here, which is junk, right? Like things that matter to me but don't matter to other people, ornaments and clutter, like home decor, like all this stuff, right? Or even books. How many books do you have? But what are the things that are like really important to you, or you'd like people to know the story behind them or pass them down, or you know what I mean? What things, if you passed away, would you want to, well, this could be our question. Did I already do this question? I think I might have already done this question. So what things do you want passed down? What things are important? And what things are able to be tossed as soon as you die, right? Because when my dad died, it was funny how so many of his binders from his work and stuff like that, that he still, even though he was retired, people from work would still call him because he knew a lot, and they would call him for information. So he had all these binders with information in them. And it's so crazy how, like, while he's alive, those are important, but the moment he's gone, to the family anyways, they're not important. Like, there's so much stuff that's relevant while you're alive. I mean, it's like even all my plants or whatever, like so many things are relevant to me, and I don't want to get rid of them because I'm living life and I'm enjoying them. Birds are loud for 8:22 in darkness. You can even see today how dark it is getting in this corner. But oh, they're talking back and forth. So yes, so things that are important. I want to take photos of said things and do like a little I already bought this stuff years ago and I never did it. So with my good camera, or even this one, but I have like a little, it's like, you know, when you do a photo shoot, like they have the lights and the backgrounds and everything else. It's kind of like that, but it's like a little mini one for taking pictures of ornaments and things. And so I bought that so that I can set things up, take a nice picture of it. And I want to make it in, because books are so easy to print now. Obviously I have to pay for it. And, you know, but like a photo book, and you go through and it's like Lisa's treasures. So you can go through and see this, you know, this necklace and the story behind it and why it's important. And then if and when I die, people will know not only is that a cute little keepsake and treasure in itself, it shows everything that's relevant and important, and the rest of it is just stuff that I filled my life with because I liked it, not because it has any special meaning when I hold it or the energy put into it. So, saying that, I also don't know who to give my stuff to necessarily, because I don't know that anybody is. When my ex-mother-in-law passed away, lots of her stuff was given, not big stuff, like furniture and stuff, although I do have one thing with drawers, but like treasure, like her photos and her little jewelry boxes and everything else, all that stuff was given to me because her kids were never really sentimental and they didn't know who else to give the stuff to. So not only I didn't keep it for me, I am sentimental, and my ex-husband would not, he doesn't keep any of his own stuff, so he wouldn't have kept any of that stuff. But I know that the girls, that's their biological line. So and Diane was a great, wonderful person and grandma to the girls. So those things are important to them. So I've put them away and they can have those things. But my point is that's the point. Who's going to want stuff? I would like things to go to people who actually want them. But I don't know. Like, there's this bracelet that I used to tell my mom all the time, because us kids are so nice like that, where it's like, when you die, I want this. But I used to tell her, it's all sparkly, like it looks like diamonds. It's not real diamonds, but it's just sparkly and so beautiful. And it was my grandma Aurora's, so my great grandma Aurora's, so my mom's grandma, my mom's mom's mom. And I always wanted it. It's just so beautiful. But I actually wore it in my last wedding, my first wedding, and I wore it for that, and so I don't feel as attached to it because it has already played a part in my life. So I don't feel as attached to it now. Like, so my mom can, obviously even then she could choose what she wanted to do with it, because just because I wanted it didn't mean I was going to get it. But I don't feel as like, like I better get that kind of thing now as I did before. So, but my point of that was, it was saying like, well, my mom knew that I liked that. So if she was to choose somebody, then you know who things, but yeah, so it's anyways, I'm just babbling, but that's what I do, right? Ramble. So how about I just take a sip of my drink? It's almost pitch black out here, but I don't have any, two things I'll tell you about. Well, two reasons that I don't know if I should get more. Hang on a second. As you hear the beautiful birds chirping, I don't have any solar lights really anymore. I have them all like stacked over by the shed, so I could go through them and try them with like new rechargeable batteries to see if it's the light that's actually dead or if it just needs a new rechargeable battery in it. But yeah, for the most part, I don't have any real solar lights out here and everything else. And I was just thinking about how like some feature lights are always nice, you know, with like the, you know how the light is showing on these plants right now. It looks nice. So with the stuff in the background, yes, it would be nice to have some lights that look nice on them. However, one of the reasons that I don't want to get them is because it messes up like the circadian rhythms and stuff of the animals and insects and stuff like that with like fake light. So they need it to go dark and to go light at the times that the sun does, so that they can follow their routines, and solar lights can mess with that. But at the same time, it's hard to like not, because I know how like feature lights would look really nice, and how when I turn around, even though you guys can't tell, it looks really gorgeous out here with a little bit of light shining on it. So I don't know what I'm gonna do with that, but I wonder if I show you guys how, if I turn this all the way down, you guys can see how dark it is right now besides the light that's coming off my phone. So that's how dark it is outside without my light on. Let's see how light it gets back there. No, anyways, I'll just do what I'm doing here in my live. So you guys have not told me, anyone watching live right now has not told me how you guys are doing and what you've been up to this week. I have been doing the pond for the most part, and then if it's been raining, I've been doing stuff in the house. But now that the pond's done, I feel, so it's like when I do a project, I'm one of those people who just want to keep working on it until it's done. And I feel great for doing my projects. I feel wonderful doing them myself if I can. And proud of myself. I worked really hard and it turned out, and I'm really happy about that. But at the same time, so many other things like fall to the wayside when I'm working on something. And so it's like there's that catch up of getting everything else done. However, now that the plunge pool is done for the most part, I just feel like a weight has been lifted off my shoulders. So I guess like right now it's just focusing on making sure everybody has what they need to go back to school and college. It's only two of them. It's just Erica and Aurora. But yeah, so I can get into the house, and then I got to start working on the visa, because it's that time of the years again, like where we have to work on the visa stuff. So yeah, so that's what I'll be complaining about in my rambling hours the next few weeks or whatever. However, what am I saying? Yeah, some projects done. But the other thing is, I know for a lot of my North American friends and family, you guys are already into the autumn season. Here, it goes so quickly. Like, there doesn't really, autumn turns to winter. Like, there's not, the seasons aren't as defined here. So like I said, this week, it's September. So yes, it could, some people might call it autumn, but now we're actually getting some summer weather. And so my September and October can be quite nice and still summery. However, you never know when the frost will come in October. So I do have to enjoy the weather, but still plan with my plants and everything what's going to be overwintered and such. So it's always like a tough like spot. Where do I start my autumn? Not only that, I want summer to last, but if I don't put out my autumn decorations soon, by the time it actually feels like autumn and looks like autumn, then it's already time for pretty much Christmas decorations. So there's no point in me doing the autumn decorations. That's why. Yes, part of me wants to take out the autumn decorations and put them up right now, whereas in North America, my friends and family, I know that some of you guys already have put out your autumn decorations, and like once the kids go back to school, September, it feels like autumn already, the weather's changing, everything else. Here, you don't feel that weather change yet, so it feels preemptive to put out the autumn decorations, but like I said, if I don't do it now, it's, when will I do it, if at all? And I do love the way it feels in the house with the different colors and a feeling. So in the house, I might decorate for autumn, and outside, I need to start pulling apart my summer displays. That doesn't mean the plants have to go anywhere, but I'll just start slowly moving pots closer to the greenhouse, things that need to be overwintered. But which is a big job because I have a big garden. Not as many plants as last year because I lost lots in the winter, but still a big job. So if I'm out in the garden, that's what I'll be doing. Is it was a great year because I got organized with my plants. I got organized with my greenhouse, and I've gotten a lot done. But it hasn't been a great year weather-wise for us. It's been lots of rain, which is great for the plants, but because we haven't had lots of heat and everything, lots of my plants didn't grow to their, especially like annuals and stuff, they didn't grow to their best ability, even though I did water and fertilize them. So I'm sad that my displays aren't as full as they would be if we get summer for the next 2 months. But saying that, it was still a good year, and I still love my garden lots, and it can only get better, right? Like this year alone, I've got the beautiful big greenhouse, and I've got now this plunge pool, which I absolutely love. So even, especially if we put fish in it, which yes, you can swim with the fish. They might not like when I plunge into it, but they'll get used to it. There's lots of places for them to go. And what was I gonna say? Even if I don't swim in it, but even if there's not fish in it, it's still gorgeous to look at. I'm looking forward to seeing it in the different seasons, yada yada. I need to get one of those big things to scoop stuff out of it though too, because I have it for the pool in front, but the handles are broken, so I still have the net, the pool net, you know, but I don't have the a big handle. Anyways, big fat finger. Holy smokes, we're only halfway. I gotta think of some things to yammer on about. Steve didn't go out tonight because there wasn't enough of his friends going out. It looks like I'm in darkness. It's not that dark. I mean, I can still see back there, but let's see if I hide, if you can see better behind me, if it comes into focus a little bit. Let me turn the light on brighter. The thing is, if I turn the light on too bright, that's even too bright for the, so that looks good there. But if I'm still in it. If I come back in, it's still a bit too bright on me. Yeah, that all disappears. Anyways, maybe it's not too bright on me. That's all right. So yeah, I've told you guys, like, when I'm done this, I'm gonna go and eat some baked potato and beans and visit with my Stevie Bear and have a good night. So Erica goes back to school on like the 5th or 6th. It's not that I don't know which day. It's only because it's staggered going back, so that's when school is. So I just, with her year being year 11, I don't know which day year 11s go back, but she should know that soon. I just remembered Erica has a friend sleeping over, and I need to bring her TV out to the room they're sleeping in the guest house. So yeah, it might just be one of those nights, just hanging out with Steve, watching programs, and I can't wait for that being September. I can't wait for things to get back on track. And with the writer's strike, I get it. I get why they're on strike. I hope they get what they want, and, you know, and everything else. Everybody should be paid fairly. It takes more than just the actors to make these programs. So, yeah, I hope things get back to normal soon, because there's shows that I've been missing. We've gotten into Succession. We've watched the first season. It's all right, but excuse me, sorry, I'm burping. It's all right. Like, I have enjoyed it, but I wouldn't say it's like my favorite show. But we'll see. I mean, I've heard so much about it that we'll see if it gets better in the other seasons. Sorry, I don't like how bright this is. So we'll see if the other seasons get like better or not. All I know is, whether you've watched Succession or not, if you have, I would not want to be part of that family. It's a very rich family, and they all seem to be dickish, like assholes. Even when you think one of them might be nice, no, they're pretty much all just spoiled, a rich family who think that they can just do what they want and be mean to people to get what they want. And I just would not want to be associated with people like that, no matter how much money we have or don't have. So, but, you know, it's a TV show, so I can view, like, someone else's life, even if it's characters, from the outside in, but I wouldn't want to be part of that lifestyle. Nothing appeals to me about it. So, what else are we watching? We just watched a few movies. We watched the Indiana Jones last night, the new one, and same thing. It was good. It was, if they're going to bring the character, I can't remember her name in real life. I can't remember her character's name, but there's a female character. She's British. She did the show Fleabag. If they're planning on bringing her back as the new Indiana Jones type character, it's like the goddaughter of Indiana Jones, then it would be a good segue movie, you know, letting the real Indiana Jones retire and her take over. Then it's a good segue movie. It was alright. There were some cool stunts and stuff, but same thing. It wasn't like, let's just say I'm glad we watched it at home and that I didn't waste money going to a theater for it. But it was still, it was good. And I have to say, Harrison Ford is doing really well for his age. He's 81, but I guess they filmed that a few years ago, but still, that's pretty good. So it's cool that he got to redo that, like, come back as that character again, and yeah, I think that would probably be cool for him and some of the other guest appearance casts that were in the original Indiana Jones and came back for that. So I thought it was, like, nostalgic-wise, it was pretty cool like that, but, and we watched a movie a couple nights ago, too, but I can't remember what it was right off the top of my noggin. So, oh, my mom says she's making some mint tea. That sounds delicious, and I really should drink more tea. My problem with tea is that I think of tea as something that you just can sit and sip and enjoy life, and I never let myself sit down much. So I need to take that time to sit and have a tea. Maybe that'll be a goal, just to have at least one tea a day, meaning that it means I'm sitting and enjoying the garden or the house, because I love our house too, or whatever, but just, yeah, one tea a day, sit down and have a few minutes to just enjoy life. Yeah, I'm pretty on the go, always moving and everything else, and that's why I drink too much pop. So, speaking of which, I'll have some more right now. I'm sitting on my, it's fur in the garden. You can use it like this. So that's a seat, and then these can help you push yourself back up. Or you can have it this way, and then it's like a stool, and it's taller, and it's got these side things to put stuff in. So that's what I'm sitting on, but I'm sitting on it this way because I want to be really low so you guys could, when it was lighter out, see the pond. So that is why I'm sitting on. But, so I was pushing myself up. Anyhowser, I'm going to have some pop. My sister just phoned me before, my older sister, just phoned me before I started my live, and she's camping this weekend. Lucky little skunk. I miss camp, but again, I associate camping with swimming, so now I have my own swimming hole, and sleep out here under the stars. We do get to see the stars in our house because there's not a lot of fake light around here. So yeah, I could actually, what I could do is set up a bed in my greenhouse and then sleep there, and then I can swim, and it'll be just like camping. So and I talked to my little sister today too, but in messages, so that's cool that I talked to them, and now Mom's on here, so not the whole family, but lots of the family. So me and Steve are going to a play on Friday. I can't remember what the play is, so that's interesting. I'm trying to think of like things that I have booked in this month. I need to write them in my calendar. So Erica has an orthodontist appointment at some point. I know the 2nd, which was yesterday, Steve went to a football game and he took his Uncle Norman, who's turning 80 soon. Speaking of which, that is, so I think that's on the 23rd, if the 23rd is a Saturday. Yeah, okay, so next week, this weekend coming up, because it's a weekend right now, so this weekend coming up, me and Steve are going to play. The weekend after that, Jackie's daughter, Becky, is turning 40, so she has her 40th birthday party. Not sure if we're going yet or not. The weekend after that is his Uncle Norman's 80th birthday. And then that's the 23rd. And then on the 25th, our Tyler is coming to work on the bathroom downstairs. Finally. It's not him. We had to do work before he could come and tile. So we had to get the fire door. And I told you guys all about this before. But there's something else. Oh, so yesterday, the 2nd, Steve went to a football game, and also the Tyler came out to just refresh himself with the job and whatever. So, yeah, all these things I'm like trying to remember in my head, and I do have them like on my phone as well, but I need to write them into my book so I remember them. Because Erica asked when her orthodontist appointment is. I can't remember. That one's already written down, but also they'll send me a text a couple days before. So, but I need to look at it to plan my schedule so that I can take her. Because the dentist is here in town. The orthodontist is in Northwich, which is like a 15-20 minute drive depending on stuff. So, yeah, that's what's coming up in my September. Oh, actually, 2 of my sisters, my sister Melody, older sister, and my adopted sister Amber, their birthdays are September 8th. And there's a few other birthdays in September, too. You speak of which, one of them is our daughter Aurora, who will be 18 on September 30th. So, and that's a kind of an important birthday. So, yeah. So I guess there is a lot going on in September, and I need to. And it just, God, time goes by so fast. Like not only is summer over, like it's already September 3rd. Like not only did September just start, it's already the 3rd. Like I can't. It's just crazy. Time is just like, why was time so slow when we were kids and so fast when we were adults? Is it just that way, or has it always been that way, or is time sped up for everyone, even kids right now? I don't know. Ashley McComb says, "Hi Lisa, hope you had a wonderful day." Thank you, and I hope you did as well, Ashley. I have had a good day. I would have rather been in the garden. I don't really like shopping, but me and Steve and Erica had a good time together, shopping for shoes and having a nice Morrison's English breakfast. And then we also, when we went to another shop, we had ice cream, and they had rum and raisin. So, and now I'm doing this from the gorgeous pond in the back garden. So yes, it has been a great day thus far. So yep, I'm happy. I don't know what else to tell you guys. I'm just going to try and enjoy the garden as much as I can. But I also want to, yeah, that was a little moth flying. I also want to enjoy my house as well. So as I said to you guys, not just doing more in the kitchen for the lives, but in general, because I have a great kitchen. I want to do some, the pond is great. Sorry, Ashley says, how is the pond coming along? The pond is great. It's done. Besides having to tuck the liner under the big rocks, and I have added some plants, but they might not stay. I don't know. So we'll see with the plants, and then I have to put on a filter. But basically, it's done, and I'm excited about it. I'm really happy, and it's everything I wanted in it. But so I want to be in the house more. I want to do scrapbooking this winter. I want to try and enjoy, even though I can garden in the winter here, and there's winter jobs to be done. I want to love the plants I have. I'm taking care of the house plants more as well, and I want to do other things besides garden. I know, but it's hard when you're an addict, because I do want to be in the garden every day, but I don't get anything else done. So I want to, like, you know, have a balanced life and do other things as well. So if I can get the jobs done in the garden and get things like winter ready, then it'll give me time in the house, especially on rainy days, because Lord knows we have a lot of those in England. So Ashley says, good job. Heard you showing Allison when I came to pick her up. Oh, yeah, it is, right, when I showed Allison. Yeah, so there is some videos of it. I just realized who Ashley McCombs is. It's Allison's boyfriend, Ash, but my brain didn't connect. So, yeah, there is some pictures of it on Instagram, and me jumping into it. But I'm going to do, as I said at the beginning of this too, I'm going to do a like a slideshow of like me doing all the building and everything into the finished product. So eventually I'll have that on Instagram and Facebook and stuff too. So yep, the pond's good. I'm happy. Sorry that if I glitched there. I must have lost connection. I don't know if it's the internet or what. So yes. Well, I don't know. Oh, I don't know if I told you guys this. I think I told you guys this last week, but I still haven't found my earpods headphone case. Yes, I can buy like a used one online for like 40 pounds or more, but I don't want to in case mine's in my car or in the house somewhere. But I need to like take my car apart basically and look through every shopping bag to find it. And or yeah, I can't find my case. But when Allison's home, although she's gone for like 3 nights at Ash's this week, I was borrowing her headphone case to charge my headphones. What made me think of that? I think it was just the fact that I had to go back to the old beasts, and they're dirty from doing this in the pond. But the good thing is these have a wider range, so I can go further in the house or in the garden away from my phone with these. They last for days and without needing to be charged. The bad thing is, especially on hot days like this, is that my ears get very sweaty under them. Yeah, so the little ones are more convenient size-wise. But at the same time, if I touch my hair, sometimes when my hair's down, it knocks those out of my ears. And, oh, look at this. This is the real Lisa. It knocks them out of my ears, and I'm scared that I'm going to drop them into, like, water or whatever. Ash says, good, great job, though. It looks great, even though it's dark. Thank you, Ash. And Sasha's here. Sasha, do you want to say hi to everyone?
Hello, Sashi.
Yeah, Sasha helped me with the pond, didn't you? Yes, so when I was digging, even if I was really deep in the hole, she would bring her ball over here and then drop it down into the hole, and I would pick it up and then throw it back into the garden, and then she would go and get it, and she would come back and then drop it back down. And we played that game lots while I was digging the pond, but she's a good girl, so. And she's getting to be such a big girl, too. While you guys were gone a few days ago, speaking of doggies, Lena turned 11, our German Shepherd. So she is officially a really old lady now. So she had her birthday on the 31st. So happy belated birthday to our Lena Bina. I don't know what else to update you guys on. So yeah, I want to do more things from the house. I have some books that I want to read on here. Not only do I want to do more Halloween, like you remember how last year I did did I read, I didn't read Halloween books, did I? No, I did the Halloween special. So we don't know what we're getting. Even this year, I don't know what we're doing because I don't know what character I'll be. But also like Halloween baking. But I was thinking of doing maybe some autumn baking as one of my lives as well. So Sasha's just walking around, sniffing around. So yeah, I don't know. And then like I said, I thought about bringing out the old cowgirl hat and being a cowgirl one of these Sundays, but I don't know what the theme would be exactly. Or what reason. Well, do I need a reason to bring out the cowgirl hat? No. I'm from Alberta. I might have grew up in a city, but I'm a country girl at heart. So yeah, I don't know what else to tell you guys. I did put, so my water lily that's in the wildlife pond is doing really well this year, and I think it's because last year they told me to put sand in the bottom of the wildlife pond. They said that's, put sand in the bottom of the wildlife pond for little creatures and everything to burrow in and everything else. So I did that, but guess what that also does is it gives lots of medium for the roots of all the plants to grow in. So when I just took the wildlife pond apart yesterday, it was lots of roots from lots of plants. But I think that's one of the reasons that my water lily did really well growing. Like, it hasn't flowered yet, and now I've just like moved it and stuff, so it might not flower because of being disrupted. But the lily pads are quite large, and it's nice and green and healthy. I split it and I put part of it in here, but because of the size of the leaf, I'm wondering if it would be better in a bigger one. However, water lilies like sun, so I don't know. That's why I have it over here, because it'll get a little bit more sun where it is than having it in the back corner or something. But we'll see if the water lily does good here. But yeah, I don't know what plants will do good back in here. Actually, that's one of the reasons that I left that one bog that has a fish in it. I left it with water in it because I was practicing with some plants back there to see which plants. So irises, my flag irises have done wonderful in the pond back there. They just haven't flowered. So that will happen with some certain plants that like sun, and if you're growing them in shade, they might grow fine, but they won't flower if they don't get the sun. Or some will grow more leggy, or whatever. So we'll see what grows best in this pond. The other thing is the baskets that I have things in right now, they didn't really like. Some of them aren't heavy enough. So when I was jumping in the pond yesterday, the waves were knocking the baskets around, and yeah, they didn't like it. So I'll either have to use heavier pots or something like that. There's something else I was going to say. I don't remember if it was about the plants in the pond. No, I don't remember. I've gotten distracted. I saw the thing that said someone was at the front door. It was Erica coming in. Because her and her friend are sleeping over. What was I going to say? Plants, pond. I need to work on the waterfall as well. I think I told you guys at the beginning. Wildlife pond. Oh, that's what I was going to say. So when I was dividing the plants yesterday in the wildlife pond, I got to this one corner, and where my gunnera grows, that's like a big, what do they call, not artificial rhubarb. It's like a ornamental rhubarb, kind of. Like, it's not one that you would eat, but it gets like really big leaves like rhubarb. So I was cutting down this one sedge or whatever it is. It's too big, and it was taking up the light where I wanted the gunnera to grow. So I was cutting it down, and as I was cutting it down, this frog that was like this size jumped from the land where I was working by into the wildlife pond and scared the bejeepers out of me. I screamed like somebody across the train tracks screamed back at me, like making fun of me, but I screamed. It scared me. I'm not scared of frogs, but I did not expect that. So all these years I've been waiting for frogs in the pond in the front, the wildlife pond that's meant for them. I put in shrubs that will, grow to give them protection. I've made toad homes underneath with upside down pots with so they can go in them. And I've done everything that they say to do to attract them. And I have not had any frog or toad spawn in all these years, but that was a big one. And I'm guessing because it's around the water right now, frogs like water more, whereas toads will go into the water to lay their spawn and everything. However, whether it's a toad or frog, it doesn't matter. I'm just happy it's there, and I'm excited to see in the spring if I have any frog or toad spawn. So that was a very exciting thing. Back here, in however many years, because of the stream and stuff, I've seen 2 little frogs in years, so I haven't had anything like that back here. But that was a very exciting news in the gardening life of Peppertooth's Patch. So very excited about that. The corn is doing fine, and this hot week will help the corn a lot. So they do this thing called the Three Sisters in indigenous cultures in North America, and the Three Sisters are growing corn. And then you grow beans that will climb up around it. So beans are in like a legume, and things like beans and peas and stuff, they put nitrogen into the ground, and so that will help feed the other plants that like nitrogen. And then the corn does something, and they all work off of each other. And around it you grow, because corn grows up and beans can climb, and then you have all the ground around it, so you grow squash or pumpkin or whatever. That's the Three Sisters. So I planted, maybe it's because it's courgettes instead of, it's zucchinis instead of any type of squash or pumpkin, but I put 2 courgette plants underneath by the corn, and And it might just be this season. Like I said, we've had a wet season and not a lot of sun and everything else. The plants look good. I got big leaves on them, but I don't have very much fruit. Sorry, Sasha keeps bringing me a ball to throw because I'm over here. This is our game. So maybe it's because of the season and some of the fruit. When I do start getting like little baby courgettes or zucchinis, whatever you want to call them, they'll get like what's it called? Bloom end rot. I can't remember what it's called. Like where the blossom was, the end rots. So it's not been a good year for my courgettes. But the sweet corn seems to be doing good. It'll at least be one meal of corn. We'll see. Yeah. But same thing. I look forward to using the raised beds for lots of crops in the future, especially now I have the greenhouse. The other thing though is, wow, I almost fell backwards into the pool. The other thing is though, we are planning on going to Canada next summer. And if I'm going to be gone for most of the summer to Canada, in the spring, like I got to see what I'm going to plant. If it's something that I can grow from seed and plant and it can take care of itself, or it's not hard for someone to look after it, that's one thing. But I don't want to be planting a bunch of annuals and all this stuff and starting all these seedlings and then not be here to enjoy them for the season, or have to ask somebody else to take care of all of them. So we'll see what I do this winter and spring in the greenhouse, just because there'll be enough for somebody to have to come and take care of in the summertime now, especially the house plants too. Oh goodness, it's gonna be difficult for some of these plants if I go to Canada next year, but that's still what we're gonna do. I'm not gonna let the plants stop me from going and visiting everybody in Canada, but we'll see what that means in our gardening world. I think I've rambled enough now, have I not? Excuse my fat finger again. I should use the other hand. 55:38. So I'm pretty much done. For the question of the week, I know we talked about earlier in the podcast about treasures and special things and who gets things when you die and all that. But I think I already did that question. So for my end of life planning, what question I had planned this week was, do you have the photo that you want to go with your obituary? Yes, obviously, if you don't die for 40 years, you can update it. But if you were to die yesterday, do you have a nice photo that you would want with your obituary? Because listen, they're going to use a photo of you. So it's better to have a nice one, because you don't want them to find one of the bad ones and use that instead because they don't have a nice one. So, so some people, like one of the things I listened to said that a lady who died, she was quite old when she died, but for her obituary, she wanted to use a photo of her in her prime, which was in her 30s or whatever. And fine, because, you know, that's how she wanted, that was part of her life, that was who she was as well, and that's how she wanted to be remembered. That's fine, but so do you want to use a photo of you when you were at your prime, or do you want a current one? Or, you know, so not only with your obituary, but, you know, if it's placed at your funeral as well, especially if you can't be an open coffin or you're not having an open coffin, do you have a nice photo of you? Now, even if you don't like getting your photo taken, do you know I have an uncle who's, well, he's passed away now, which is a perfect example of this. I have an uncle, Ed, who has passed away, but he was blind since he was in his 20s. And he even went as an older adult to a studio and got his photo taken. And I thought that was really cool because he can't see it, and he can't see all the photos that we take of ourselves and, you know, give to him, because we give all our aunties and uncles photos. But he did that for everyone else. And that, how cool is that? So if he can go and do it, then that's me throwing the ball again for Sasha. If he can go and do it, then you can too. Just, even if you don't like photos, just get a nice photo taken of yourself. Just ask a friend. Everybody has phones and cameras now and everything else. If you're having a good hair day and you just feel good, set up your camera and take a photo of yourself. Ask somebody else to take one. Just have something nice that say, if anything happens to me, this is the photo that I want to use. So that's your thing. Do you have the photo that you would want, and do the people around you know? So you can write it in your end of life journal that we're working on, and you can even add the photo in there and say, this photo is on my hard drive, this photo is on this flash drive, this is the photo that I want to use for my obituary and at the funeral and blah, blah, blah. Unless I live for another 10, 20, 30, 40 years, then I will update it. And we can update it, but at this time, if something was to happen, what picture would they use of you? I also love it for the one like of my grandma McDermott, who we talked about today. I'll add it in the comments. but I don't know who took the photo, probably my Auntie Joan, and I don't know what she was doing, if she was reading it or whatever, but it's a beautiful photo. She didn't do it on purpose, but it's the one they used, and lots of us have it in a frame in our house now, and it's just a gorgeous photo. I love that photo of my Grandma McDermott. So yeah, you don't know what they're going to use. My favorite photo of my Grandma Malone, though, is her on Santa Claus. She looks happy and cute, and she's sitting on Santa Claus's knee, and it's super cute. However, it's Christmas, so I don't have it out all year. And, you know, so is there a good photo of you? Even if you don't like photos, get your photo taken. Ask somebody who can take the photo, and just have, you know, just do it. Or go to a studio and get a picture taken. You don't even have to show anyone. Go to a studio, get your picture taken, don't show anyone, add it to your end-of-life planning, and update it when you update it. Because, listen, your passport photo, your driver's license photo, they're not going to be the greatest ones for people to use. So, that's your question of the week. I love you guys, and we will see you next week, and maybe we'll have a guest. I don't even know what's going to happen. Thank you for watching Rambling Hour, and we'll see you guys later. All right, love you. Bye.